All right, folks, good afternoon. We had a nice weekly debrief this morning, so everything's looking good there. And we're going to get airborne. Okay, we have Lex back from TradeHawk, Tradier. He's going to give us a platform demo. You guys know I speak highly of the platform. Still waiting for them to get some portfolio margining, which should be in the near future. But Lex and I are going to go heads down next week and do my own kind of instructor training on the platform. Like I said, a brokerage platform is a brokerage platform. It's like me flying a Hornet, an F-18, going to transition over to an F-16. It's a fighter jet, but there's stuff, different locations, different areas, and I really need to fully get up to speed before I start using it because I don't want to look like an idiot. So with that, I'm going to get out of the way. Lex is a 500-pound head, and he does a great job with the demo. Make sure you put all your questions in the chat box there so he can see them, and we should be good to go. All right, my brother Lex, let me throw you the ball here. You can take it.
Okay.
And
can you hear me, Wiz?
I got you loud
and clear. Okay, let me show my screen. Thank you for having me, first of all. What screen am I showing? Do I get choices for that?
Go to webinar, the connected to webinar.
Yeah, I got it. I'm going to figure out which monitor is number 2. I got it. Perfect. Can you see monitor 2 yet?
We got your platform up. Yep.
Okay, so this is the command center, right up your alley, Wiz. So
like
this is what we call this is the flying cockpit here. I know a lot of folks have probably seen this on this one, but let's go through a few things. A couple new items as well. I always like to start out first thing. When you come into the platform, you're going to get a default layout, right? This is configurable. You can move things around. You can make things skinnier. You can make them fatter, taller, etc. Okay, so the concept there is get a layout that works for you. This stuff can be removed. You can keep it as basic as you want. You can make it as throttled as you want, put all the horsepower in it. So there's lots of availability there, okay? So don't think that this is what you're looking at, which is Lex's layout, doesn't have to be yours, that you have to live in this environment. You don't, okay? We can fix that for you. The other note I'd make, to get started with us, we do these private demos. So you can schedule it. We send out a schedule link. You pick a time that works for you. We get on a private one-on-one session. We get you up to speed so you're ready to take off. We'll help you with your layout. We'll save it. We'll make it a default, all that kind of good stuff. We can even help you with your first trade, which means that we can show you how to do it. We can't tell you what to do, but we can show you how to do it, okay? So to all those little footnotes there to get started. Okay, I'm just gonna go around the board, I'll look at the questions toward the middle here and just give you a few basics to get you started. So clearly option chains. There's all kinds of stuff in here. There's volatility workshops. There's HVOL and IVOL studies. There's risk analysis tools where you can play percentage games and put your spreads and your positions in here, see the probability of profits and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so all that exists. There's even a calculator. Okay, and what the calculator does is you put a spread or an option order in here, and then you can play games with the sliders, making stocks go higher and lower, along with volatility moving around or interest rates or time, seeing how that affects your spread or your option order so you can make some decisions. It's a good tool for checking things out prior, after an earnings event, when you see the stock move big, you can see what your spread's going to do, that sort of thing. So that always works great. In the option chain, middle thing, probably your main spot for where you're going to do things. So we have a couple different option chains. We have this one, little more hard coded, what I like to say. You do have drop downs to change things for sure. You can change columns. The grid is probably a better tale of if you need customization. And what we do with the grid is we made it super light. And if you're a multi-screen trader, you can move this around a little bit, right? So I always do it like this. And you can see I've made the colors blue and I've changed some colors around just to show you I can do it. And if you click away, you can go back to your command center, or you can pull this baby back up and it comes right back into place. This is multi expiration views, right? As I said, you can move things around. I moved the strike over. A lot of things here. If you're an implied volatility person, you can set studies of implied volatilities along the left side here, and we will compute what the implied volatility is in each of the months and give you a difference. So you can see where volatility is high, like in this situation or this situation, versus lower to historical implied volatility. So it's a nice tool for the implied volatility field, especially good when you're looking across months, calendars, diagonals, those types of things. Okay. How do we put a trade out in this thing? Suite of tickets. I have my tickets set up over here on the right. They all kind of blend together if you want. Sometimes I separate the options tower and the options ticket. We have a straight option, that's buying or selling a call or put, sorry. A spread, which is 2 or more legs, right? And an option tower, which is a vertical display of an individual option. So what I did, I'll show you that first. I don't have a drawing tool, I don't think. I don't know how to use it on GoTo, but I'll just use my mouse. So what I did is I clicked on the 135 call in Apple. That's the at the money indicated by that blue banner. I just clicked on the bid. All that doesn't mean anything necessarily, except that it's going to put that price in. In the tower, it shows the best bid, the best ask, right? So you've got all these places where you can place orders. The buy column, where my mouse is the place you put your buy orders. The sell column, where my mouse is, sorry, is where you put your sell orders. So if I wanted to pay $1.20 for this option, I'd find $1.20 on the price ladder and click in the buy box to submit that order. That's all I did. Okay. So if you're a fast trader and you need speed, this is the tool for you. This ladder is super fast. If I want to cancel it, I can right click on that order. It sends a cancel message out, cancels that order, and out it goes. Bye-bye. Okay. If you get filled, you can see day traders, and I'm not saying you guys do that, but if you are and you want to take a little profit, you get filled there, you just go hit your sell side and you're good to go. Quantity is governed by your quantity box here. Again, all your quantities in all of your settings are done in a settings page up in the top left. You would spend a Saturday morning fixing all this one time, getting your font size changed, all kinds of good stuff in here that you can customize, and you can do it by stock. Okay, so everything can be unique. Once you do that, you hit the big save button, you close this baby, and you don't look at it again. I mean, that's fairly typical once you do that, unless you have a change of heart relative to sizes and what have you. Okay, so options on the option ticket, click something. All you need to do if you want to trade something, click it. It fills it in, right? Tells you what it is. Everything is memorized that you put in here in the drop down if you need to go back to things quickly, right? Once it's in here, adjust your price. If you click on a price, it'll fill it in. So I click on 206, it's going to fill in 206. If I click on 281, the ask, it's going to fill in 281. We will colorize the buttons you should push in order to send the order. If they're grayed out, you probably shouldn't push them, but unlike the fighter jets, you're not going to hurt anything if you hit the wrong button, okay? So buy to close, I just hit it by accident. It sent out the dreaded reject message. That red message is always like cause for dread. You're like, oh, what did I do wrong? But we protect you from yourself if you make a mistake. And we tell you can't do that. You have nothing to close. Hit the right colored button. Okay, so pretty simple that way. All the sizes you can drop down the toggle, or you always have the option to type in a value. Okay, so keep that in mind. Whenever you see a box, things can be typed there. Okay, so if you want to type something, have at it. If you want to use the drop downs, that's also just fine. So right now, I'm trying to buy 11 of these puts, right? They're trading 277 at 281. That's the market. This will update real time. You have a midpoint. I'm going to try to put one out there, 11 out at 250. All I do is hit the buy to open. It goes out there, it's submitted, it's in the marketplace. Also shown in your order panel. You can adjust price from the order panel. You can cancel from the order panel. It also shows on the option chain with a little green box. Right click shows you some information on that, right? You can cancel from there too if you'd like. You can also cancel with red X's. Sell orders would be red boxes on the offer, okay? So it's pretty easy to put an order out. If you need even more speed and you want to buy this offer quickly, let's look at this 135 call. It's 141, 144. You just have this dying urge to buy that for 144. Control key on the keyboard and click on that thing. Sends an order out. I'm filled that fast. I just bought 10 of these. So I'm already filled on that with just what we call a control click. So again, I'm not trying to preach speed necessarily, but some people like to go a little faster. You can slow yourself down throughout the system. There's preview boxes that you can use. So if you click that preview box, you will get all kinds of news on that option. Okay, so if I put that in there and I want to sell it, I can look at graphs. I can see how it affects my margin, my costs, all kinds of good things. If you don't like it, exit. If you do like it, send the order. Okay, I'll exit out for now. That's preview. Also in the settings page, all kinds of check boxes to prevent you again from hurting yourself. You can slow yourself down with confirmation dialogues. You can prevent yourself from buying through the ask and selling beneath the bid, right? We'll let you do it, but we're going to warn you you're doing this. If you really want to do that, you can go ahead and do that. Okay. All right. Spreads. Let's talk spreads, right? Options are easy. Make sure you're in the ticket, tower or ticket. Get the option in here. Look at some data. You can certainly set a preview to look at it. You can send things to what if. We'll talk about that in a second. But what if is a much grander risk analysis tool. Okay, that we'll look at in a sec. All kinds of orders, day orders, GTC, market stops, stop losses. There's conditional orders and advance orders. So I won't go into each one of those unless there's a question on that later. But OCOs, brackets, triggers, you can do all kinds of things with our conditional orders. Okay, so understand that that's all doable. Okay, let's talk spreads for a sec. Spreads we do a little differently. Same deal. You have a spread ticket. Think of the tickets. You're just telling the system, hey, I want to make a spread. That's all you're doing. It's not really switching between tickets per se. It looks a little different. You've got this big dark area here that is what we call our scratch pad. Okay, so the way we do spreads a little differently from how retail folks generally do it. I think most retail clicks on the ask to fill in a buy leg. They click on the bid to fill in a sell leg. We do it the opposite way. Now our new version that's coming out about mid-year, it's being rebranded. We're going to make that a setting. So if you like clicking on the offer to fill in buy legs and the bid to fill in sell legs, you'll have the choice to do that. In this current version, what we have is you click on the bid to fill a buy leg. I'm going to do a put credit spread. Okay, I think everyone probably knows what that is. I'll just do $3 wide. Okay, so I'm on the 130. That's my buy leg. So if I'm going to do a credit spread, the higher put's going to be the sell leg. And all I did was click on it. That spread is already filled out. 2 clicks and it's filled out. Now, you can save the spread with the stage button, right? There are ways to customize the spreads with right clicks if you want, and you can go into the spread and you can do standard spreads and click vertical, right? So you can do that. You can flip them over if you'd like. You can move legs by clicking on them and moving them to a new spot to create different spreads. So you don't have to delete everything. You can move it. I always tell folks the great thing about this is if you're trying to get a certain credit or debit, you can right click on this whole spread and it moves the whole spread. And as I'm doing this, you can see my prices change over here. So I'm trying to get a certain credit. I can move it till I see it. And let's just pretend that's it, 150. Click it to drop it, right? 150 is my price. So I found the spread, the 131, 134 credit spread that fits my criteria if I needed a $1.50 credit, okay? Again, if you don't like that, clear it out, start over. You can always remove an individual leg with the little red minus sign and put new legs in, okay? Other things about spreads. Preview exists, right? Same deal. Preview button to see all your data. If you think you're doing a credit spread and you do not see the word credit here, you're doing something wrong. So again, we're going to protect you from yourself. So if you do it backwards, for instance, I'll flip this over and show that. Hang on a second, I'm getting, sorry about that. I'll flip it over and now I've done the debit spread, okay, with a simple flip. Notice it says debit. I'm buying the higher strike put, selling the lower strike call, okay? So if you think you're doing a credit spread, you hit the wrong way, you're gonna say, oh, that's not a debit, that's not a credit spread, it says debit. So flip it back, okay? So you just pay attention to that. We'll do all that automatically for you. Another little thing that we do, so it might be a little different, is if you wanna do 5 spreads, I've seen platforms where they say, okay, I'm gonna make each of these 5 by 5. You certainly can do that. If you double click on that number, you can make it 5 by 5. Now, I don't recommend that. I'm very opposed to that. The reason is I want you to think in base common denominators, okay? So, or base common ratios. So if you're gonna do a 1 by 1 spread, I'd love to see this be 1 by 1, even though you can do it the other way. We govern size in our size or quantity box. So for instance, if I want to do 5 of these spreads, I just leave it 1 by 1 and make this a 5 lot. Okay, now you never have to do math. It's always shown what you're doing right in the middle. Okay, so that little middle spot there will always show you how many spreads you're going to send out when you hit the send button. If I wanted to do, 35, get 35 in that box up there, and it's already done for you, 35. You see the green leg, the red leg, greens are buys, reds are sells, easy to see visually. I'd make a note, we do have actually more than I would think, several colorblind users. And we put this little parentheses in here because they can't distinguish red and green necessarily. So the parentheses is a common accounting, function, I suppose. Those parentheses means it's a short or the short leg. without the parentheses would be the long leg, okay, if you have trouble seeing those colors, okay? All right, so that's spreads. Again, what if, let's just send this to the what if just for fun. So when you do that, you hit the what if button, it goes to our risk analysis. I'll make it big. Again, you can go all kinds of craziness here. You can look at different dates. So you can start looking at where all your numbers fall in. If you don't like a date that we pick, there's a little algorithm that we use. You can certainly pick a date from the drop down. So again, this is a little more involved screen in terms of what you can do. You can also add positions. So if you don't like what you see here, okay, and here's how I do it. I keep my option chain and my what if in the same container, lack of a better term. So when I hit what if positions, I'll just move it over here so you can see. I can add new things. So let's say I'm just making this up, right? Let's say I want to add some short premium to this, okay, just for whatever reason. So what I can do is I can go to the option chain, find my strikes, right, and then say, okay, I want to sell this put. Again, I'm just making this up, so bear with me. And I want to sell this call. Okay, and all I did was add those two things. Now look what I did. I've added those two what if positions to here, and notice how it changed my graph, right? So I can play games with that. I only made, they come in as one lots, but you can change that value if you want. So if I wanted to do 10, you know, with that spread, with that new, oops, I did 100, sorry. I can do that. So let's do 10 on both, golly, my typing well. So do 10 there, and we'll do 10 here, okay? So I'm doing 35 and I'm adding 10. These are my what if pictures. You can see they're duplicated down here. So if I want to remove these 10, let's say I can X them out, I can turn them off so I can see what my graph looked like before and then turn them back on. So then I can see that. I can play slice games. Slice games are, hey, I've got some new prices in here and I want to add these values to it. So I can start adding values to these things, right? And see where, you know, percent probability things come in with values. So if I add a value, let's do 115, just to argue, let's do 125 here on this side. So, oops, boy, I'm terrible at typing. 25, and then let's go up here where we cross 0 at 162, okay? So the top value, 162. So now you can see my percent chance of staying in between these lines, okay? Or these points, I should say. And then you can see, if you read these, you can see what the percent chance is below and the percent chance is above. So now you can play all kinds of games. You can turn these off, your percentages change, right? You turn them back on and see what happens. So you can play all kinds of games in this what if. Okay, so that's the bottom line point. You can change volatility. You can see how it affects, time is affected with your spread or your position. Keep in mind, what if isn't just for a single spread or a single option. It can be for strategies. It can be for entire positions. Entire positions, you come up here and you just type in your ticker, AAPL, Apple. Now I've got my entire Apple position in this thing. It's everything, okay? So you can see that's a pretty funky big position, but you can do lots of things for that with that what if, okay? Let me talk one more thing and we'll take some questions. I see I got some questions and we'll answer those and we'll get on with our day here. Portfolio. So once you get filled on something, what happens? Where the heck does this go? Goes in the portfolio page. Again, I like seeing my portfolio page a lot. I like to see big green numbers, which you can see here. That's all great stuff. I tend to set my my layout so I can see my portfolio, my orders together. Now, if I want to go trade, I just click and go to trade. You know, but I like to look at this when I'm not doing anything, so I can see my P&L. So if I have something I want to do, I certainly can click on Apple. I can see every little detail of Apple. These are all my trades, all lumped in here together. I can just know, and I won't show you how to do that in this webinar, but I can pull things out and make spreads if I want within my portfolio page. So there's an easy way to do that. So I can take this 2-lot spread out and segregate it out so I can see certain things about it, okay? What's nice about this is that you can close things from here. So if I wanted to close this conglomerate here, I can go in here and say, you know, there's this goofy custom spread in there or some spreads in there. I can go click on it, send it to the ticket, ready to close, okay? And it'll highlight which one that is. Or if that's too tricky, you can go and say, boom, boom, click them, and it'll fill in your ticket and you're ready to trade that closing trade as well, okay? You can set alerts for all your columns. Columns are very simple. Days to expiration, what the position actually is, your P&L in dollars, your P&L in percent, the value, current value of the option and or spread, okay? The cost where you own this, and then obvious stuff, bid, ask, trade, etc., and delta and theta. And theta column can change, okay? So It's a powerful tool, especially if you're trading single options. See this 10 lot here? I'm up 4,000 bucks in it. That's wonderful. It's great news. I bought it at 565, trading 965. Let's keep that profit. Right click, bracket, right? I've got 10 of them. I'll just put it right underneath so you can see it. So let's get out of this thing. Let's set some brackets up. What's a bracket? Well, I got a 10 lot. I want to do 2 profit orders, and I'm going to only do 1 stop. So right now it's around 965, the current price, which is fine with me. If it goes down to $9, right, I'm going to get out. Again, I'm 565, so I'm going to lock in that profit. So I'm getting out at $9 as my stop. And then, you know, my first exit, I'm going to put, again, I'm totally making this up right now. I'm going to do $10, and let's go $11, just to make things simple. So what does this say? I'm going to get out of 5 at 10. It's going to deplete 5 on the stop side when that happens. And if I get the other 5, this will cancel. If it sells 5 here and goes back down and grabs this 5, I'm out. I've got a stop on one and I got a profit on another. So this is called a bracket order. Again, you can make as many legs as you want on these things based on your size. All I did was send that out. You can see that bracket order sitting out there waiting for time to come to take that out. Okay. So the great thing about brackets is that the market making community doesn't see that order. Why is that important? Okay, so I was a market maker. That's what I did for a living. And I switched over to retail, you know, way late because market making got really tough and you had to have a Citadel kind of money. So market makers aren't in the business of giving us money. They don't want to make your life easy and trade on your markets. They want to trade on their markets. And when they see information, that causes them to act. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a computer thinking. This isn't some guy sitting in a room thinking. Everything's done with computers now. So when they see your orders sitting out there, they can certainly lean on them, right? What the bracket, what some of our conditional orders do, and there's a slew of them, the bracket order is hidden from the market making community. They cannot see it. Only you can see it, okay? So when it triggers, it shoots out that order. And all of a sudden they get bombarded. So they can't lean on you with certain types of conditionals. Okay, that's the point of that matter. Okay. Incidentally, if you wanted to modify this bracket, just double click on it. It brings this back up. Let's pretend you want to add a 3rd leg. Again, I'm just pretending. You know, unfortunately, we don't know if you want to change them all, so we make you change them all again. And I'm just going to do 12. So I'm just doing it dollars each way. So now what I've done is I've done it each way. $1 up. They give you the numbers 3, 3, 4. That equals 10. You can change them. They just have to equal 10 on both sides. So you can do 2, you know, 5 and 3 if you want. Your call. So I've just modified that order. You can see it went out, and off it goes. Okay, that's a bracket. There's things you can do also. If I wanted to really get out of this order, this 10 lot, again, back to the 10 lot, in my portfolio page, right click on it. I can sell 10 at the bid, mid, ask, or market. I can get out right away without using a ticket, without using an option chain. I just want to get out. I want to take my $4,000 and go home. Okay, so I can easily do that by doing that. If I do that, out it goes. Remember, the limit orders, you're not necessarily going to get filled. Probably if you hit the bid, you're going to get filled. Midpoint, you're not going to get filled right away. You might. Ask, you're going out with the market makers. So that one, you're probably not getting filled right away. The dreaded market order, you are getting filled. If you like market orders, you know, that's great. That's wonderful. I happen not to, but that's me. Just know market orders, you know, you get what you pay for, and in volatile markets and wide markets, it's not pretty sometimes. So be careful with market orders. You know, I will say that. There's trailing stops in here as well, OCOs, all kinds of craziness in here. All right, so all kinds of abilities to manage your portfolio. Okay, Wiz, I'm going to stop there for now. You know, look at there's implied volatility charts and historical volatility charts. There's stock trading. You know, we don't emphasize that too much. It's super easy to do. Watch lists. You can make a bazillion watch lists and name them different things. You can have multiple versions of the command center running at once. If you're a multi-screen user, man, open it up 5 times. You're happy to do that. You can undock all this stuff, move it around multi-screens if you'd like. You can take things out. I said that. All kinds of stuff. What I'm trying to get Wiz to do, Wiz, this is my plug for you, is get a little room chat going for Top Gun trading. Okay, when he learns the system, he can place trades so that, you know, or some of his trades that he's thinking about. And if this is up Wiz's alley, you can say, as a user of Top Gun, you can say, hey, I love this JWN. How do I do it? Well, you click on it and it fills it in, all made out. You're counting on Wiz to do the spread right. It gets in there and you can adjust your price. You can see where he's doing it. and where it's trading now, right? Let's do play. This group want to do 40-cent credit. Woo, cool. Well, guess what? It's $1.60 credit. That's better than 40. I'm glad I waited on this one, and off I go. So I see how that works. You can just do these things right with a click. So, and there's all kinds of ability to type in here if there's different levels. And I don't know if that's up Wiz's alley. You can speak to that. But it's a great tool for people to share information about the trades they may be doing, and then you can just kind of copycat them. Now, remember, you've got to make the decision to copycat these. Okay, it's just a simple click, fills it in, off you go. Okay, Wiz, why don't I stop there and answer some questions? I don't know if you have any comments or.
No, go ahead. Yeah, I like that room chat feature, but yeah, there's a ton of questions over if you want to start knocking them out. Very good questions.
Okay. All right. I just started the body. Okay. No. Does Tradier have a probability calculator? I think I went through that a little bit. Yeah. So that's that what if thing I went through, right? So you can put the other thing you can add in here is standard deviations too with the slice thing. So you can do slices with standard deviations as well. So you can start, you can add as many as you want and as many prices as you want. It will always tell you, where the percentage of movement in between, right? So you can look at all kinds of percentages. The other thing I forgot to show you this. Sorry, let me expand this a little bit. There's a detailed thing too. So what the detailed thing does is it gives you it gives you a little table of 1, 2, and 3 standard deviations of what the probability is of going between the certain values below and above. Okay, so you can do that as well, and you can customize all those studies also. Okay, what are your day trading rules for IRAs? Day trading rules, the brokerage questions, I can answer them, but I like to send you off to the service, but I'll answer that. Day trading rules are the same as any day trading. The brokerage community is relegated by the government and the SEC. So we all have the same trading rules, okay? So they're going to be very similar, if not exactly the same as any other place. In your platform page, can you have a column for next earnings? So remember when I mentioned earlier, we're in the process of the revamp. The earnings in this version is not displayed, okay? Within probably 2, maybe 3 months, all that data is we're piping in. We have the data in our new rebrand, the 2.0, we're calling it. You're going to have next earnings dates. You're going to have past earnings dates to study, right? You'll have dividend information. All that stuff will pop in there. Okay, and it's going to be very icon based, if that makes sense. So it'll be very user friendly in terms of those sort of things. Okay. Can Canadians open an account? Unfortunately, no. Canadian, we're not allowed, and it's again another. U.S. Canadian government thing. We don't have any control over it at this point. We kind of do. We have a little control over it, but Canadian government puts a pretty big restriction on U.S. companies taking accounts. I won't go into the details, but just know that we can't take Canadian accounts. You can have a paper trading account with us, which you can use the platform and see, use the calculators and what ifs and what have you in a paper trading environment. That's doable, but not a real account. Volume and open interest. In the grid, I have that in here, okay? In the option chain, I don't use that so much. I just kind of toggle between it. So it's right here. So you can do open interest. And if you want to see both, remember pink is open interest. You can do both and it'll show both in each one if you want. So I typically toggle. Some people I know, a lot of people like volume and or open interest. You can look at both if you want. I tend to look at my position. I don't know why. It's just quirky me. I think volume's good. I always just toggle between it. So that's where that is. Spread commissions, we don't have commissions. I think the gentleman's name is Robert. We don't have commissions in this plan. So Wiz's community has what we call an unlimited plan, and it's basically you pay like Netflix. You pay a certain amount per month, and Wiz's group, you guys tap in as a discount from our standard rate, and it's $60 a month. Okay, and you can trade unlimited commissions. Unlimited trades. What that means is, we don't charge 65 cents a contract in Wiz's plan. We charge nothing per contract. You pay $60. You can trade 1 million option contracts at $60. Now, what is passed through is exchange, OCC, SEC fees. Okay, like they do everywhere. Everyone passes that through. They might not tell you that, but everyone passes that through. That amounts to around 4 or 5 cents a contract. So if you do some math, it's a very small number. No matter, even if you're a big trader, it's not that big, but it's something that we just pass through. We don't make any money on it. We just send it through. Okay, so there's no spread commissions in this plan at all. Now we're happy to charge you 35 cents a contract, but I don't think you want to do that. Okay, especially if you're a larger trader, or not a larger trader, but a more active trader who trades many contracts a month. This is a big savings. How long will it take a 63-year-old man to learn it? Well, I'm almost 63 years old, believe it or not, and I figured this out. If you've traded actively for 10 years, I will tell you this. We do private demos of this. I will send the link to Wiz, and he can send it out to you guys. It's a calendar scheduling tool, okay? You can sign up with that at your leisure. We do them Monday through Friday. You pick a 45-minute slot. We get on a private tour. You're going to be able to speak. I'm going to be able to speak to you. I typically do them myself. We record that session for you. We send it to you. You have it forever as your own tutorial. If you need another version, you just send another link and you do it. It's great. I will tell you this. This is a true story. I had a gentleman get on. He's overwhelmed. He's probably a pretty advanced trader. He was used to another competitive product. I won't say. But he said, God, I don't know, I'm going to learn this. Well, he took him 3 days. He did the tour with me. He watched the video again. And he asked me another question. I got back on another screen share, probably 3 or 4 days. And I got to tell you, he was a whiz. He was moving. I was watching his screen. He was moving. He goes, okay, Lex, if I do this, and I want to do the spread, and I get this, and he's doing this, and he's going like this, and that's a debit, and I want to add another leg to it, and I want to make it a butterfly, and he's literally going that fast in 4 days. I swear, I couldn't believe it. I go, wow, you have really gotten good on this. So like anything else, it's going to take a few days to practice. That's what paper trading's for. Sign up for a paper trading account. It's free. Okay, there's no obligations. We don't take credit cards. We don't do anything. It's free. So you get a paper trading account, mess around here, try to make mistakes, send an email to us, call us up, get on a screen share. We will get you over the hump fast. Okay, it is literally quick and easy once you get going on it. Okay, good question, by the way. OCOs, yes. OCO, if you have an existing OCO, can you just, yeah. OCOs, I don't have one out here. Let me put one out real quick. I'll do that quickly. Let's do the same 10 lot. I'm going to take that bracket out, 10 lot OCO. I'm going to do it at midpoint. I'm going to send it out. I think I'm going to send it out. Yeah. So I sent it out that fast. I'm already in the OCO world. I'm going to expand. Here it is. OCOs, can you adjust the price? So I've got $11 and $9. Incidentally, our OCOs, you can set that in settings. Okay. So I put $1 around. So that's just my setting. I can adjust it before I send it out. If I decide afterwards, let's say I want this $9, or let's make the profit. Let's say I want the profit a little higher. I just click on it, fills it in. I want to make it 12. I won't click in, the 25 4 times. I'll just type in 12 and then just hit send to resubmit that modification. Okay. So that modification goes through. You can see now I have 12 and 9. I just changed that. Okay. If you did it beforehand, I'll do a different option, and I want to do an OCO, and you don't like your prices here before you send out, you just click on it, and I say, yeah, I don't like what I set up in my settings page. I'm going to change it. I'm going to make this $1, right? And off you go. Okay. There's OTOCOs, which is I'll put a trade out. When I get filled, I attach my OCO to that. Okay. So you can do that as well. Okay. Good questions. Boy, there's a lot of questions, Wiz. Oh my gosh, how do I do this? Other things, the question is, how do I hook it up to TUS? Well, you don't hook it up to TUS. TUS and TradeHawk or in Tradier are competitors, right? So we're in the business, we're a brokerage. Tradier brokerage is a government regulated SIPC insured brokerage. Okay, it's just like TUS. We have the same insurance that TD Ameritrade has. There's no different. Okay. The government gives $500,000 to every brokerage house. You have to be a member of that. That's what we have as well. So we're in the business of generating account creation at Tradier Brokerage. And we do it differently, as I said earlier, with this subscription model, okay? So that's what that's all about. I think I saw something scroll by about iPads and what have you. There is a downloadable version for the Mac, the actual computer. The iPad version and the iPhone and Android, for that matter, that's our TradeHawk Mobile. Now, TradeHawk Mobile is different, okay? It doesn't have a lot of these features. Mobile, to me, is for this kind of trading is a little more of a stopgap, and I need a little help when I'm at the Starbucks. That's what we think of mobile. It's really a beautiful app, by the way. It really is nice. It just doesn't have a lot of the conditional orders on the the iOS part of it. Mac version is the same as this one, just a little bit, looks a little, you know, I think the Mac version is actually prettier myself, but it definitely is available for download there. I'm just looking through, can I Swiss account? Oh, can I Swiss, you know, Swiss accounts, I got to check on that. You know, we definitely work in the EU and overseas. I just don't know off the top of my head. Again, you know, I'll get that to Wiz. And let him know on that. Okay, I'm going on. Real time, good question on paper trading. Real time, no, it isn't. It is delayed. Don't be fooled about real time. I mean, real time's expensive, right? We don't charge for quotes when you have an account and you're trading with us. For paper traders who don't have accounts, you know, there's no revenue system in that for us. With just paper trading people. So we do delay data. It is free, the delay data, but it is in fact free. Okay. All right, go. Would I be able to transfer? Yeah, we do, you know, all the ACATs, wires, all the standard movement of positions and money, all doable. Okay. All very doable. So just like any brokerage, all that stuff can be done. I see the background light and gray. See how you can, there's a Windows version and a Mac version to set this background. So the answer is yes, you can do that. We don't have it internal in the system to change the background. Version 2.0, as I alluded to, we are making a light and a dark background. So that the new version coming out has both of those. There is a workaround to do that, okay, with the Windows service and the Mac service that we do. So I'll do that on a private showing when we do that. I'm looking at some of these questions to see about it. Multiple accounts, yes. See this button up here, accounts? I don't have multiple accounts, right? I just have the one, but if you did, it would all show here. And you can name your accounts and what have you. So yeah, you can certainly do that. Okay, Wiz, I think I kind of went through the grand strokes here. Okay, I know I've been going long, so I don't want to keep you from your trading day. What do you think? Should we kind of stop there and maybe we collect questions and I'll answer them another time, or how do you want to do that?
Yeah, no, it's up to you, man. I mean, you got as much time as you want. If you knocked out everything you wanted to knock out, I think we're good to go.
Yeah, I'm trying to look through quickly. Let's see if I got the bulk of this. I think I did. So, you know, Wiz, I'll send you the link for setting up a tour. I really recommend it. I can spend real personal time with folks and tape it and record it. Mm-hmm. And you know what? We can get them up to speed, and I can, you know, get on their screen and move things around and save it for them, make it a default layout. You know, at the end of the day, right? If you make a default layout, I'm going to move things around here, okay? And I'm going to make a mess on the screen, deliberately making a mess. When you get to that default layout, you just hit the default button down here, and guess what? It goes right back to ground zero. You can never mess yourself up once you get set up, okay? And you know, don't forget, all this stuff can be removed, and you can just have an option chain and a ticket if you want. You can do whatever the heck you want with a layout. So I really emphasize that link. It's great. We do a ton of these during the week, a ton of them. We really take good care of you with this. We're really hands-on, right? I mean, it's almost really impossible for you to call our service department and not get someone to pick up the phone. It's almost impossible. I don't think I've ever seen it. So very big on customer service and helping you get through the early stages. Once you get beyond the learning curve, you won't need me again. I'll be so sad you won't ever call me. You won't ever say hi anymore. It'll be over because you're going to be on your way and you're going to be cranking out money. So you know, you guys will really get used to this fast. Make sense?
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, that's great to hear because I know a lot of folks who are at a couple other brokerages named Brand X physically can't get through to the trade desk, which is just or support. It's just a nightmare. So
yeah, I know. I mean, look, we pride ourselves on that. We really do. I mean, I've had situations where, you know, my internet's gone out and I can't do anything. Right? I can go to my mobile, but I don't. I just pick up the phone, I call them, I say, hey guys, can you get me out of this 5 lot? And and they don't see it's me. I mean, it's, oh, Lex is calling, I better help them.
Sure.
They say, yeah, sure. Hold on a second. Okay, you're out. You know, you're done. Thanks. Bye. And they don't charge extra for that. There's no other fee for that service. You know, and just one last thing. Try to understand what we're saying about the commission-free part. Okay. if you're paying, whatever you're paying at another broker, and typically it's 65 cents. Granted, if you're a big trade and you negotiate a better deal, I get it. But that adds up. And I like to say, I was on the pro side. We spend thousands of dollars in commissions every month in our business, right? I mean, sometimes 6 digits on that side. You make better decisions when you don't think about the cost. Why? I can't close a 25-cent option when I'm paying 65 cents. You start getting in your brain and you start making bad decisions, okay? I don't think about closing a darn thing here because I don't have a commission, right? I do the right risk analysis trade every time. Doesn't even cross my mind. And I hope that makes sense, Wiz, because I really drive that home with our traders back in the day. Make the right trading decision, right? Don't base it on cost. So
yeah, absolutely.
We erase that from the equation here. So, okay.
Awesome. Good. Awesome. All right, folks. Let's. Werner's asking SPACs. Can you trade SPACs on Tradier?
What is that?
Yeah, the special access, Werner. I think there's ETFs out there that track SPACs. If it's tradable, the answer is yes.
If it's a listed ETF,
exactly.
And it has options or it has stock, the underlying, yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
So the answer to that is yes.
Good.
Okay.
Real quick, Lex, Mark's is asking, hey, I came in late. Does the platform trade futures?
No. Probably third or fourth quarter this year. It's set up for that. We just don't have we need to we actually have to buy a futures clearing side. So we're in the process of doing that. I can't speak too much to it because we are in the process, but probably late this year we'll have that.
Okay, good. All right, folks, let's give Lex a virtual golf clap here. Like I said, Lex and I are getting offline next week where I can go heads down and get some instructor training and then get my account up and running, and I'll start giving this a shot.
Perfect.
And migrating a lot over, like we talked about when we get some portfolio margining. So,
good.
Cool. All right, Lex, thanks for coming, folks. Thanks for coming as well. The replay from our debrief is posted this morning. As soon as I render this recording, I'll get it posted on I'll put it on the Full Throttle page. I think that's where our last recording is. Okay. All right, folks.
Okay. Thanks, Wiz. Thanks, everybody. I look forward to doing a demo. I'll talk to you later. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Lex. We'll talk to you later.
Okay. Bye now.
See ya. All right, folks, like I said, I'll put this right up here. Here's the 19 November one, and then I'll put this one right above it. This is a Full Throttle page. The link is also in the chat box for you to open your Tradier account and get the deal that Lex was talking about. Okay? Yeah, I'll put that link in the chat box as well. Okay, cool. All right, folks, I'm flying. I got a great American weekend coming up. We got about 4 L-39s, a MiG-17. We're going to be flying up to Lakeland tomorrow, and then this weekend I'm bringing my new family member, that new Blackout AR-15 that I got, and we're going to be shooting, drinking, maybe not at the same time, and flying. So I'm going to go head up to Leesburg, and I will be back on Monday. Okay. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. I'll talk to you guys on Monday. We'll see you.